All right, you guys, I'm going to take you along a move up with me. So this client that I'm doing has 2 rows of beaded wefts and then a few tape-ins, which is what we call the combo method here at JZ. So I am just prepping my bead tool. I got all my needles threaded. I like to have everything laid out before I begin. And I am going to start by removing her old extensions. And we are just going to be moving these up. It's about 8 weeks grown out. And I remove by clipping everything up and then using my removal tool, squeezing the beads, and then I'm able to slide it out super easily and they come out really efficiently. And then I cut the stitching afterwards so that I'm not cutting anything near her own hair. And you also just want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're not actually cutting the weft. And in this video, I'm going to go over not only how I do a move up, but also how I charge for it, and then also how long it takes me. I like to do it this way if I am not doing color or not washing the hair, where I do 1 row at a time. That way everything is staying nice and organized and everything's clean and I know what row goes where. So when I'm doing it like this, I take it out, I kind of redo the row just to make sure it's really clean. I like to keep it in the same general area, but you do want to clean up the hair a little bit just so it's not always sitting on the same hair time and time again. Now I am doing the JZ Styles bead foundation on her, and I already have the first row completed here, so now I'm showing you guys the second one. And we are doing 2 rows with the tape-ins, which just adds a little more extra fullness. So in our extension certifications, you guys get master certified in the JZ Styles bead foundation, which is what you see me doing here, and the unseen bead foundation, which hides your beads. So you learn those 2 different techniques, and then you also learn J-tied, which are hand-tied wefts, and then machine wefts, so that you have options for every client. So I would say that each row takes me anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to complete, and that's only because I've been doing it for so long, and I'm also just naturally fast. I talk fast, if you haven't noticed. I work fast, that's just kind of how I am. So that's my typical row time, but I feel like most people are anywhere from like 25 to 45 minutes if you're experienced. So don't feel bad if it takes you a little longer, that's totally normal. It's always quality over quantity. You don't want to rush through anything and make it sloppy, but I will say with experience and time, you do get quicker, and that's just like a perk of continuing to practice and get better at extensions. So I would say a typical move up like this will take me anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, just with removal, resectioning, doing each row, doing tapes, styling, and that can be a really quick service. And especially if you're not doing a wash and a style and color, you can make really good money in that short amount of time. How we charge for extensions at JZ is per row when it comes to beaded wefts and per bag when it comes to tape-ins. So I charge $100 a row for what I'm doing here, which is the JZ Styles bead foundation. If I were doing the unseen bead, I would charge $120 per row, and I always have my row price be the same thing no matter if it's the first time installing or if it's the maintenance appointment like this. So that way my client respects my row price, and I just kind of include everything in that. And then for tape-ins, if I'm doing 1 bag of tape-ins, it would just be the same thing, $100 per bag. Or if you're just doing a few on either side to fill in gaps, then you could just kind of break down your pricing and charge per sandwich. I'm actually doing the cozy weft here, so that is a weft that we did discontinue, just FYI. We now just have the J-tied and the machine wefts. Here I am lifting up the hair just to make sure that everything's clean after I install. And then also I wanted to go over how I remove hair grippers, because people always get really confused. So you basically just take your clip out, lift the hair straight up, and then lift the grippers straight out. You don't want to pull them out towards you because it will cause the hair to tangle. So now I am just applying tape-ins. I usually do 3 in the back for her, and I'm going to show you the placement. This just helps fill in a shelf that she has right here. You can also achieve this by doing a mini row, but on her we just do tape-ins, we always have. So I do 1 in the center right here, and then I do 2 on either side of that, kind of on an angle like you see me doing here. And then I also do a few in the front around her face, some on an angle, some straight, just to fill in any gaps. And she ends up getting 1 bag of tape-ins total. So her price for today for this maintenance move up would be $300, $100 per row. There were 2 rows, and then $100 for that bag of tape-ins that I'm installing. And this does not include the price of hair. Your client will pay for the cost of hair at their first appointment. This is just the maintenance price every time after. And like I said, if you're able to get your time up, you can make $300 in an hour and a half, and that's pretty good money. And then if you're doing a move up on top of color, that's even better. So it definitely pays to get a little bit quicker and more confident as you continue to learn extensions. I always do the initial blending of the extensions at the very first appointment, but at every maintenance appointment, I will trim the ends and just make sure the extensions are staying healthy and looking good. And it's usually just a baby trim, so I include that in my pricing. And I also include styling. You never want your client to leave without being styled and looking and feeling amazing. So on her, we are using the 1 1/4 inch iron called the J-Wave. You can find that on my website. We do have 3 different sizes of irons, and this one is the one that's kind of in the middle. We have a 1 inch, a 1 1/4, and a 1 1/2. And this just gives a nice, loose, really pretty curl. And then after this, she is good to go. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, if you want more videos like this in the future, and also just what else you'd like to see. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.